Hi there guys, welcome to episode 3 of Road to Blog Wars. This is my little video log, painting log, as I do a bit of a Herculean task of getting an 1850 point army ready for the tournament called Blog Wars, which is in November. Now, I'm about halfway. This is a bit of a special one because it's a bit of a tutorial's not the right word I'd choose, because I don't see myself as being a good enough painter to be able to pass on advice. But if you find this video helpful, all the better for you. But it's me helping me, helping me my rubbish memory and recording how I painted the thing, so I can do it repeat it later on down the line. So it involves these guys, which is actually a WraithGuard, which get close up there, and the base is actually on, and how I go about building that. So stay tuned. I've now finished that unit, so you may have seen the board that I've constructed to track my progress. So I've finally got one move from in progress to complete now, so that's 210 points out of 1850 done. Woohoo. The Rangers / Pathfinders are also near upon done, just highlighting some certain areas and then sticking them to their scenic bases, which are done in the same fashion as the WraithGuard ones, which I've done about 40 of them for the rest of the army. So now what's left on the list? I've got Dark Reapers, the Wraith Knight, the named character Iliac Nightspear, or however it's pronounced, but I'm going to call him Billy Bob. It's Billy Bob Nightspear now. So and there's also a Spiriteer and 3 Warwalkers. Warwalkers are currently in bits. They're off the sprue with. I'm still deciding how far to assemble them before I start painting them. Okay, guys, let's move on to the tutorial. This is the first one I've really done, so bear with me with this one. If the camera angles, I'll try again to get the painting of the actual model, or the assembly of the actual base, shall I say, in shot. So, without further ado, guys, let's bring on the little log video. Hi there, Wargamers. It's Dan Deathbringer Kane again. Here, bringing you a basic tutorial for my WraithGuard. Obviously, this can be used on anything you want, so it all applies to 28mm or 40mm or 60mm bases. But anyway, this is how I do mine. So this a sneak peek of one of the finished WraithGuard that I've you may have seen in the Road to the Blog Wars episode 2. So keep an eye out for that. So bring in one of my striking scorpions on one of these bases. So this is the kind of thing I'm looking for. Nice texture effects, nicely coloured there, and there's another one. Oh, getting the front camera there with nice bit of a stone there, and very flat. So a bit of variation, so like variation in size. These are the materials I'm going to be using. I've got 2 different widths of cork. I've got an old, well, I say old, it was new, but new. It's one of those heat pads that you put your hot cooking pot on when so you don't burn your surfaces. But we're going to rip that up. Coffee grinds. Now, if you go to a coffee shop and ask them nicely if they've got any coffee grinds, it's something they normally throw away with them when they grind up the coffee, and if you ask them nicely, give this free. Just make sure when you take it home you got to dry it out. So if it depends where you are. If you're where you're like me, I had to stick it in the oven for a bit and actually cook it a bit. So if you don't do that, it goes moldy. The next thing is some small stones. Nice little selection there. Just put on an occasional basis. And the next one to help blend the stones into the base is a little bit of grit. I think I got some at a pet shop. I think it's some kind of lizard sand. I'm not entirely sure. Can't remember. I've since lost the packaging. So that's what I've been making. And obviously we're going to be sticking these onto 40mm bases. Okay guys, we're back in a second. I'm ready to start this tutorial. Join me in a second. Right guys, we're back now. I'm going to start off with this one with like a 2-level effect. I'm going to start with a lower level of the thinner cork. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, about there I'll do, and I'll try and do it on camera guys. Let's tear it off roughly around where there, and not obviously get rid of that square edge, we don't want that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to actually grab a knife, good old Stanley knife, and what we're going to do is going to take this at an angle so it kind of slopes up a bit. Oh, try to do it on the camera. Zoom that in a bit so you can see better enough. So obviously watch your fingers when you're doing this guys. The amount of little nicks on my thumb I've got from doing that is unbelievable, but still doing it now. So there we go, and then I'm going to put a third level on here. Now the thing to bear in mind is that the model's fit, you've got to get the feet on, so it can't be too wide. Obviously I'm going to get rid of this rounded edge, which is no use to us right now. There we go. So, useful piece. So, how are we going to stick this on? So, let's have a look. How would be best? Let's break it up a bit more. And I don't like my texture to overlap the base edge. I can accept a little bit, but it can't go OTT. Yeah, so something like that I think guys. So you can see a little bit of the base there, but no, a bit of variation there. So I'm going to take some white glue. And spread that out. Now you could use some piece of cardboard or whatever. But I'm just going to use this. Now, rather than just trying to wipe away that PVA, what we're going to do is going to get some of this grit and chuck it in to the edges like that. There we go, that's that bit there. And help build up the edge. And next that wants to go somewhere like that, so just decide which way around we want it. Yeah, that's about right. So let's get the white glue. And again, what we're going to do, any glue that's popped round, we grab the grit. Oh, that's one way to do it. Chuck it into where the glue is. Nice bit of variation in texture. Okay, so let's have a look. Now if we wanted to, we can embellish just by putting we'll put a stone on. What I do, you grab a nice handful, place them there, that's fine, looks nice and suitable. Yeah, look at that one. I do like these bases to come together organically like this. So I think we're going to get another one down the side here. I want to cut the top right in front where his feet are going to be. Yep, and he still goes on, so that's good news. So grab the grit again. I just chuck that on where the wet glue is. Nope, and I've lost the stone to the grit. Okay, now that's back on. Next little point of call is to get some of the coffee grounds and put some small bits on these flat surfaces. Right guys, now after we've got my old brush, we're painting some PVA glue on where I think we're going to put some extra texture on now. There is already a nice texture on the cork, so that's why I'm not going to cover it completely, but I'll do most of it. Leaving the odd patch. And of course, don't leave any on the base. Oh, let's get that in the shot, guys. Okay, then in much the same fashion onto the grit. Sprinkle it onto the model, same model base. Word of warning about this coffee grounds, guys. It seems to get everywhere. With your hands, it seems to, not so bad. It seems to stick to you. Anyway, tap off the excess. And then we're going to set that aside to dry for a bit. And then we're going to come back and seal it in. So we'll be back in a second, guys. Or from you guys, it'll be more like a few seconds from me tomorrow. Okay guys, see you in a second. Right guys, now once that we've let the glue dry a bit, we need to seal this on, otherwise we'll be losing bits of coffee grinds and grit and stones till come see even bit there has already come off. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some watered down PVA and just basically liberally cover the base in it. I've bought a paint container from Wilkinson. It cost me about 60p, and I filled this up with a 50-50 mix of water and PVA, and just last me ages. As you can tell, quite messy inside because I'm not too bothered about washing the brush when it comes to this thing. So I'm also going to put some an old piece of paper down so it doesn't stick to my chopping board. So let's cover this baby up. Okay guys, so you'll be left with something like that. Now you will put that to one side to dry. You might try and dry off or wipe the sides of the base with a paper towel for or you can let it dry and you can just peel it off. It's up to you guys. But anyway, that's that. So we'll put that to one side to dry, and we'll be back in a bit and we'll start painting this thing. I suggest leaving this overnight guys, because it takes a while to dry and fully harden up. Okay, see you in a bit. Right, so we're starting off with a black primer. This is the one by Vallejo, and we're just going to cake it on, obviously getting all the nooks and crannies and such like. You can use a spray can if you haven't got any access to an airbrush just as well, or even do it by hand if you need be, but obviously it's a lot quicker this way. And next is the first colour. It's Vallejo Model Air Whole Red. This is to basically be sprayed on quite liberally, not as thick as the black undercoat obviously, but still almost as much. Again, trying to cover all the entire base, but obviously not leaving some areas still black. And this is me trying failing miserably to get this in the camera for you to see how it looks like. Brown mess at the moment. Well, I say brown red mess, but you know what I mean. Anyway, next I'm adding some scarlet red to the whole red, so it becomes almost like a 2-to-1 ratio. So 2 parts whole red to 1 scarlet red. And this is almost as heavy, bit lighter than the other one, but not as much. And that's that done. So I've added some Shabty Bone to the mix we've had now, and I've taken in a dry brush now. So that's the kind of colour we've got really. So a very red now. It's almost pinkish now, and just quite a heavy dry brush this is, and Again, this is me failing miserably to keep this unshot and covering it with my hand. Leaving the stones because we're gonna cover them up later. And again, out of shot. Sorry guys. This is my first kind of video tutorial, and I realise how much I've gone out of shot. There we go. So something like that. Now I've added some more. Well, taken some shabty bone, and I'd not washed the brush from previously, and just kind of mixed it on the palette. So it's kind of like a bone with a pinky tinge to it. So it's not straight shabty bone. And this is kind of a lightish dry brush towards the raised areas and the textured surfaces. So it should look like something like that when you've done that step. So just touch some bits up. Go around, make sure I've got everywhere. And again, I've taken it off shot. Yep, and the focus, out of focus, and off shot again. Sorry guys. So next we're doing the stones. This is IGN Grey by Tamiya. Just simply going to cover them in. Again, we're building up to it, guys. So, quite simple. Just cover the stones in this IGN Grey. I don't know what it stands for. Put a comment down below if you do, if you know. So we're just going to paint all the rocks with this colour, even though you can't see me do it. But you get the idea, guys. It's not exactly a complex step, this bit. And there we go, that's the stones just about done. And again, take it out of shots. I'm sorry, this is just me trying to be able to see what I'm doing. And the next one, I believe everything's made better by Agrixel Earthshade. So I started off covering the stones with this, and I did actually change my mind by the end of it. So I'm just liberally covering the stones at the moment. And then decided, oh what the hell, just paint the entire base with it, because it was a bit bright for my liking. So I'm a big believer in everything's better with a bit more Earthshade on it. So a liberal paint of Earthshade on these bases. And again, I've taken out a shot, but I'm just basically covering the entire base with this stuff. And next we've got some, oh, can it focus? Some Field Grey by Tamiya. This kind of a greeny grey colour, and this is I'm going to do kind of a wet brush on the stones, so I say 80% of the stones are covered by this. And then next I'm adding some Shepty Bone to the Field Grey. It's ratio wise I've no idea, but I'd say it's just like a dab of Shepty Bone mixed in, and obviously just dry brush on the to pick up the edges. And again a further dash of Shepty Bone to make it a bit more brighter again with the Field Grey. So again, just really gentle this one. Well, not so gentle that one there, but you get the idea. And to blend them in, you didn't see that very well, did you? That's Vallejo wash. It's umber shade 2:1 with green. Sorry, green being the more dominant colour there. And again, sorry guys, this is out of shot, but I'm basically just covering the stones with this green brown wash. And lastly, we go around the edge with more Fang Brown. Now I'd up. Most of that was done off camera, guys, so that's why I cut the video there, because I figured there's no point in showing you me just the edge of the base. Now I did do two colours, and here we go, some the finished product, what it looks like with the WraithGuard on it. There you go, I think it worked out quite nicely. And now I'm going to show you the rest of his unit. Simple one here with a kind of a channel down the middle, just like the fin cork. This one's a bit mixture of two, again with fin cork at the front and the big bit, the chunky bits at the back, really broken down. And this one's a very simple one, just a bit of fin cork and a few stones at the front. And this one quite pliable roof. It's actually, you can't really tell, but this one's actually sloping slightly. I've gouged most of that cork out, and I'm going to show you some slideshow.